Good morning, creator. Welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm Robin Schmidt, and I'm an independent Couture designer, which means I'm going to share with you my love, my passion for creating with Couture products. They are reusable silkscreen transfers that we can use up to 8 to 10 times, maybe even longer if you take really good care of them. And of course, we have lots of surfaces. We have chalkboards, wood boards, even a metal tray. What else we got? I got some burlap wrapped boards. So lots of different surfaces you can purchase that are high quality that you are not going to find anywhere else. And then, of course, we have our chalk paste and our Couture inks. And those are the products that we squeegee over our silk screens and create beautiful one-of-a-kind designs for your home, for gifts. Maybe if you want to become a designer like myself, you want to create, and you're a crafter and you want to create and sell those designs that you created at craft shows or online or anywhere else. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast with it. I've been a designer for over 3 years. It was 3 years in February. So let me share with you my love of it. And up above in my description, I do have a link to my Couture website where you can purchase products. You can learn how to become a club member. You get an exclusive transfer and 3 paste colored packets every month in the mail, and they are exclusive to Couture designers and our club members only. So those are a lot of fun, little treat to get in the mail every month so you can get your creativity on. And how to become a designer yourself. If you want to build a business, whether you're selling the product, the Couture product, you're creating and crafting and want to make those projects to sell, like I mentioned earlier, or maybe you want to build a team. So it's a direct sales company, and how you become a designer is you join someone's team and they will show you all the ropes, and I am happy to do that for you. So let's get started. I was lucky enough to get a hold of some brand new products that I won at our convention last week, over a week ago, and I'm going to share with you some of the new products that are available July 6th. We are launching our brand new fall and winter catalog, and over 100 new products, including, of course, transfers for the seasons and home decor, plus new surface products. And one of them is this round board. It's called a Rustic Round. It's 16-inch diameter. You can create on both sides. It's got this beautiful in vogue stained color. This is a very popular color. You'll see it a lot in kitchen cabinetries, floors, this color. So it's quite popular and nice and thin, lightweight. It's perfect to hang a welcome or a greeting sign on your front door, or just hang it off a hook on a shelf or anywhere in your home. So we are going to create on this today, and I'm going to use a new transfer called, what is it called, Robin? It's called Life Story Home. And this will be available July 6th. And so we are going to put that on this board. And I'm also going to add my last name above it, which is Schmidt. We're going to add that with individual font transfers that you cut apart. And you got all the alphabet and numbers. So we're going to use that. This was also included in my gift. And I'm not 100% sure. It's called Modern Font. I can't remember if that was a new font transfer for this fall or if it is a current one. I haven't actually looked that up. But I want to show you a little tip and trick of how to make sure, if you want to paint a section out, which is very popular right now, you'll see door hangers that have maybe a black stripe in here or a white stripe. And a great way to make sure you're keeping that level is to use Couture's matte right here. These are also available on my website. And what I do is I line a major inch line through the hole. So you're going to lay it down, and you can find a on the inch line, And then you just want to make sure that all your little squares are even on both sides so that you know that your board is level. So when you hang it up, you want to make sure that stripe going across is not like that. You want to make sure it's level. So this is going to help me place my tape lines on my board. So I just make sure everything is equal down here as far as these little squares, and I can see that it is. And then I can place my painter's tape right across a line from here to here and here to here, and that's going to make everything level. So how awesome is that? So get these mats. Like I said, we sell them here at Couture on my website. So if you don't have one, they're great. They wash off really well. I'm gonna put a piece of cardboard under to paint because my paint is hard to wash off. I like to use Fusion mineral paint, but the chalk paste will wash off easily. But I like to protect it from getting my Fusion mineral paint on it. So I'm gonna put just a piece of cardboard under it, and we're gonna paint this section right here. Kind of got a big piece of cardboard. Let's see if I can find a smaller one. It's not quite so crazy big. How about this square? All right, here we go. And I'm just gonna scoot that up here a little bit. And so this is basically like unfinished wood. I mean, it has that little bit of stain in it, but after we paint, I'm probably gonna wax this whole surface. And waxing raw or unfinished wood, or well, even painted wood, I'll wax over the paint. Helps in many different ways, but basically it helps your transfer, which is sticky on the back side. That's what keeps it in place, our silk screens. And then that'll help, because it really likes to stick to like an unfinished surface. So it's best to put wax on any of our, or any wood surface really, not just ours, but any surface other than an actual chalkboard or our boutique boards that we sell in our other blackboards that we sell. You don't need to wax those. Just painted or unfinished wood surfaces, okay? So here we go. I'm going to use my Fusion mineral paint. I'm going to grab my paintbrush. And we're going to do that real quick, and I'll dry it with my heat gun, and we'll move right along here pretty quickly. I do want to say hello to everybody. Hello, Betty, Deb, Rosa, Mary Carol, Joanne, Tammy, oops, Melissa, Beth, Sarah, Cindy. Good morning, guys. Okay, so I'm taking this is a color called Raw Silk. It's a little off-white. And you can actually paint with our chalk paste. You have to water it down a little bit just to make it a little bit thinner. But I usually just use paint. But you definitely can if you have a specific color you want to use in our chalk paste line, then use that. Just keep in mind it will wash off if you get it wet for some reason. Hope everybody had a great weekend. As you may have seen in my page that I had, we had the birthday party for my 1-year-old grandson. And I made that photo op frame for his party, which was a patriotic theme because he was born on Flag Day and 4th of July is coming up. So that was a lot of fun. It was kind of cool and cloudy all day. My daughter was so bummed because, of course, she had to rent the pool after hours, and she thought, oh, it's going to be so cold, nobody's going to want to swim. But lo and behold, the sun came out and ended up being a really pleasant evening. So everybody was happy. Okay. I'm trying to decide. I think I can almost do this in one coat. I'm just getting it covered really well. Okay, I'm ready to dry this. I'm going to leave the brush out of the water just in case I want to put a second coat. Sometimes it looks a little different after you dry it or it dries. So I'm just using an embossing heat gun to dry. You can definitely use your hair dryer. Has a lot more heat to it. You just got to be very familiar with that and be careful. The Couture does have its own drying tool. It's not as hot as this. It takes a little bit longer. And so when I'm on live, I like to hurry the process, so I use my embossing gun. You just gotta make sure you keep it moving. I might put a quick second coat. My father and mother-in-law were down for the party, and she likes to chalk. She's chalked a few times when she's been down here. They live, maybe 3 or 4 hours away. And so this time she signed up for the Club Couture. She's pretty excited. So she'll get the Hummingbird one, which is still the June transfer. And then in July, she'll get the Life is a Bowl of Cherries. I think that's what it says. I got that in the mail. And that's another thing I want to do this week is create with our club transfer. Super cute. It's funny because my son has a cherry tree. And he brought us cherries from his cherry tree. And I have never dealt with cherries from a cherry tree, like what to do with them. So we're learning how to create, and how to take care of them, how to debug them if there's bugs in them, and because he doesn't use any pesticides. Okay, second coat, perfect. I'm gonna put my brush in the water. I was gonna show you something. Oh, the Life is a Bowl of Cherries. I'll try to get that out. So if you want to join, you could get this club. Comes in this envelope. Let's get this dried. How many of you like to cook with fresh cherries or bake with fresh cherries? And what do you bake? I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking like a cobbler. I don't think I have enough for a pie, but maybe a small cobbler or crisp or something. I'm going to try to deal with that this afternoon, see if I can whip up something. I'm not super handy in the kitchen. I mean, I say I'm not handy. I'm pretty good at baking and cooking, but it's just not my thing. This is my thing. I love to create with art. So let me know. Turnovers. Ooh, yes. You like to eat them? Just eat it. Oh, they're so sour. I tasted one. Ooh, it was sour. It's not like a Bing cherry where, you buy them at the grocery store. I love those. These are super sour. So I've been looking at recipes. Let's see if I can come up with something. See if I can. Here's the club. Do I open it? Should I open it? Of course, club members get 3 paste packets with it to create with. But look at that. Life is a Bowl of Cherries. So I'm gonna have to make my crisp. I might have to do that tomorrow so I can put my sign with my cherry cobbler or whatever I end up making. So I can photograph it with my sign. That might be kind of fun. Because this afternoon I also have to do a project for a customer. So I don't know if I'll have time to get everything done today, but we shall see. So we got this dried. Now before I take my tape up, I'm actually going to put Schmidt, my last name, across the top because I'm going to use this tape here to put my markings on. So I practiced Schmidt with the little letters, individual letters. And if you don't know much about how these can work, let me try to explain it to you. You see the little circles that are created down there? Those are going to end up on that blue tape. If you do that on a chalkboard, then you can just wash those off with our chalk paste and you won't need tape. But I don't want those little loops to end up on my wood, so I'm going to place those little circles on my tape. And the idea of them is you have a half circle on the bottom of each one. So when you go to lay your next letter, you want that circle to be complete, which is what I did right there. You see how they made circles across? And I also discovered on my letter I that there definitely is a top and a bottom. The spacing is just off a little bit. So my first I was a little high, so I realized I must have it upside down. So I turned it around and then it lined up better across the bottom and it was the right position. So I went in and kind of marked the ones that could be, I put a T on the top so I know that's the top. So you might want to do that before you cut them apart because the S is the same way. You want to make sure, it can go either way. So make sure you got the top on the top. Same with the H, just in case they don't line up perfectly. So another reason I practiced was so I can see how wide it's going to end up being, so I can center that on this board here. So what I might even do is cut this out, and then I'm going to kind of just lay it up above, so then I can lay my letters across the bottom in the same position. So I have Schmidt centered on my circle. And I just did this on watercolor paper. So I can just take that time, and it might save you a little headache in the long run if you find out nothing's where you want it to be. So I'm going to do it this way. So let's get my letters here. C-H-M-I-D-T C-H. Because you can see when you got them individually, you don't know exactly where to start. And you can't even really start with your middle letter because I takes up a lot less space than, your M. So you want to be able to figure that out really well. Another great thing to do it on paper is that you can almost fold this in half, and then you'll find your center by where you folded it, and you can see it's not in the middle of the M, which is the middle letter. So it kind of tells you something. So just make sure these letters are lined up on the end, got folded in half, and then I know where my center is. And then I can lay that kind of right underneath the M, or the circle, the hole in the top of this. So now I know where I want to start each letter, right? So I'm going to start with my S, and I'm going to put, the S will be right above the blue tape, but my circles will be on the blue tape. Okay? So it's something like that. So I'm just trying to lay that there. And I'm going to do this in Dune, kind of an off-white. So here we go. I'm going to line this up directly underneath the S, like so. And I'm going to go ahead and chalk the circles on the blue tape, the half circles, and then my S. So I need to grab a little mini squeegee, and I'll put a little Dune on it. You can also do the top circles, but I'm just going to rely on lining it up with the blue tape. Okay, so I'm going to set that one aside, and you do want to dry each letter because you're going to be overlapping the next little transfer piece, and Hope you can see that pretty well. Where am I at? Yeah, maybe I'll scoot this over a little bit. Like this. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so you want to dry that because your next transfer piece is going to lay on top of that wet chalk paste. So you make sure it's dry before you put the next letter down. Okay, I'll line this back up again. And now I'm going to take my C, and I want the left half circle to line up with the right half circle of the S. And that way I'll get my spacing between each letter correct. So you can kind of see it through the half circle, and you're just going to line that up. Press down, make sure you got any wrinkles out. And put some paste on it. So we're just going to continue on. We have several fonts that you can buy that have individual letters. And I find my half circle, line it up, press down my transfer, silk screen it, squeegee that chalk paste over the circles, half circles, and the letter. Do our M. Takes a little bit of time, but you know, you can personalize or make a word that you can't find on a transfer. Your eye, and I'm going to make sure it's right side up this time so we get it in line perfect. Two more. We even have a font that's kind of more cursive looking. They're not all just, you know, prints. And they're a lot of fun to work with. Some of my letters are coming up on my transfer because I'm not allowing it to dry enough. So I might have to go over them later. Spend a little more time drying. maybe I need to fuzz my letters. But I'm just trying to make it hurry for you guys. So we can get our little houses on. Line that circle up. Last one. Okay. Now, see Schmidt's on there. And now I'm going to take this painter's tape off. You can see where my circles lined up underneath. I made the circles. I got the spacing correct on the lettering. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Now we got our little band across our board. And now we're going to put this transfer, the one that came with my prize basket, Life Story Home. And I chose my home decor colors, which I have a lot of shades of blues and greens in especially in my TV room. So I pulled out Tide, Pesto, Cadet, and Storm. Storm I'm going to use on the roofs, and then I'm going to do the 3 colors and houses, and then I'm going to bring probably Storm back down here on the lettering. Okay, so let's get this dried really well. I'm going to put a little bit of wax on this, like I said earlier. And you could use our Couture's finishing wax, or I have Min Wax. I have a big jar of it, so I'm just going to use that. And this will just seal in the Schmidt up here. Plus it helps our transfers come off this. And they came off pretty well off that wood, seeing how I didn't wax it before. I'm going to just use it down here. Just a little dab will do ya. You don't need much. And I'm also going to put a little fuzz on the back of this new transfer. It's always a good idea. Let's see if we have any questions. I thought that was a bigger font. It is not a very big font. They're only like, yeah, each letter is maybe an inch. Yeah, 1 inch on that particular font. So not super huge. Like I said, I have some retired fonts. I have lots of different fonts. And we have, let's see what we got in here. This is our new catalog that will come out. See if I can find the fonts. Thought they'd be towards the back. Use my guide, modern font, page 32. Although I went to look for this transfer and it wasn't listed in the back. So actually all of our fonts that are going to be in the catalog are all prints. This is the modern font that I'm using. It is a new font. We have rustic font, which I believe those letters are going to be bigger. And then handwritten font, which is kind of like Ray Dunn font. So those are the fonts we have. Okay, I'll place this on here. I'm just going to try to center that center house with a hole, and then I'm going to try to center up and down. Another thing you do is kind of check your points here and see if everything is lining up really well. Actually, kind of right underneath that text. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit. Right in there. So I'm going to do like Tide, Pesto, and Cadet houses and do gray roofs and gray lettering. And then we'll see how that looks. So adding a little color. Of course, all black would be super trendy right now. But if you know me, you know I love color. And this is for my house. If I was going to sell it, I'd probably do it in black. Or neutrals. And this one. Cadet. And then we're going to put Storm on the roofs and on the lettering. And I may end up going over these with Storm to see if it matches better. But we'll see. Putting it kind of thick right now because this is our older paste and it's going to dry quicker than our new paste. So I'm going to try to hurry up here. Squeegee this on. I'm going to skim it down. Remove that extra paste that we don't need on our board or our transfer because it'll just go down the drain when we wash our transfer. So I'm going to skim this down, put the extra back in my jar here. Okay, so we're going to peel this off. See how it looks. It's pretty cute. Where's my paper? I'm always doing that. Here we go. Okay, so we want that to dry. And you could put a really cool ribbon on it if you want, or hang it with a string of beads. It's really cute. Trying to decide. I have some ribbons setting out, but I also think you know, some greenery up there would look cool too. I don't know if I have any handy in my drawers down here. I know I have some somewhere. This. I don't know if that's enough or not. But I think if we put some greenery up in here and a bow would look pretty good. I probably need to cut this down a little bit. I put some greenery up here and add a bow. I think that's gonna look really cute. But I don't have all my things I want to use to do that right here. But you can get the idea what that's gonna look like. And I'll finish that up and I'll photograph it, put a ribbon. I'm gonna make a big bow and then with an extra loop on it and stick that loop this way through the hole. That leaves the bow on this side, and then the ribbon that's going through the hole will be what we hang it on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so you can get an idea how the greenery really adds to it, right? So I'm gonna do it up right and photograph it, and then I'll show it to you guys. Cool. Of course, there's tons of things you can put on these. The welcomes, the hellos, the all the greetings, whether it's gather, the ones for the holiday season, Merry Christmas. There are going to be all kinds of things. In fact, the thing about that's cool, if you can get everything attached to your bow and stick that ribbon through it and hang it up, and you could pull it back out, and then if you want to do another season on this side, you can fix up another bow and greenery, stick that through the hole and hang it up. So you could change out even your greenery and the bow and just stick it through the hole, and then you'll be able to switch for the seasons. So you can do every day, and then you could put a holiday one on the back side and just flip them over. Especially if it's, well, hanging anywhere in your home or on your door. So that'll be cool. Always use, when we have these double-sided surfaces, I think it's always great to put a holiday on one side or a season, and then do an everyday greeting on the other side. So you can just flip them over easy. So I'll work on the bow. I don't think I have everything I need right now, and I need to clean up this mess. So I will do it, and then I'll photograph it and send it out on this feed. And let's see, I think she won it at Chalk. I did win this at ChalkCon. This is the same circle that came in these Hello Kits. If you were able to grab one of these when we had them, they were just a one-time deal. We don't have them anymore, but it's the same round. But now, starting July 6th, we're going to be able to buy these separate. We're going to be able to buy them separately and create on them. And let's see how much they cost. Maybe you'd like to know that. They are going to be, for retail, $17.99. It's a 16-inch round. Okay. So how cool is that? So let me scoot off of here and get this mess cleaned up, finish this, photograph it, and I got to work on a custom order. I got to do something with those cherries. And I want to do my cherry sign to photograph with my cherry crisp cobbler, whatever I make. So I got to get busy, guys. Thanks for chalking with me today, and I'll chalk with you later. Bye.